Okay, this is going to be a reaction video. You're not going to see my face anyway. I'm going to watch the toy show video. And because I don't care what the sound is. And I'm going to play it. Playing it now. And this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. And you are watching the slideshow of the toy show, Super Toy Show and Fair at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds in Santa Clara. Yeah, so well, San Jose technically. So we have, yeah, it's confusing because it's San Jose, but yeah. According to recent fake news, the worst place to happen ever. Anyway, whatever that means. Yeah, quality play. Whatever. But that's not relevant because we're going to go into the actual toy show and fair. There was also here's a long panning in shot. There's some footage here shot here that's probably going to make it into something else, a creepy sort of dead-looking zone. Don't know what it's going to be. Maybe a scene from some other mousetrap project thing or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Here we have a lot of dead space. Well, yeah, doing a toy show thing. I also did a behind-the-scenes thing, and now I'm watching the toy show footage. And here we have me arriving after the Uber trip toward the building, having avoided the cat show, which was later revealed to not be a cat show, but rather a cat supplies show. Not very exciting. Didn't go in there. Yeah, so typical of these toy shows, we've been doing the Super Toy Show rounds since Time Tunnel was down there on Bascom. Used to go in there all the time. Capital Comics and Cards was on Bascom, and there was another one on Key. Used to go there all the time. There was a Toys R Us over there. We bought and sold, got so many toys that we ended up with enough supplies to have an online store, and did during the 2000s. We're going to bring that back, but we don't want to sell our actual current merch. So our old stuff, we want to keep our old stuff. We sell new stuff. Yeah, so part of the reason for going to the toy shows is to have sort of the notion of get to see it again. I mean, to see these things that are there. There's a lot of toys and things. Yeah, and the toy shows have unusual vehicles and things, and old and new, and a lot of Transformers this time. Not always, but a lot this time. There was some other interesting things. These point of view shots with a better digital camera cell phone are very clear and nice, and even the ones that were accidentally upside down are restored are nice. We have some G.I. Joes and things like that in that one box there. They tend to be older people doing a lot of these toy show things because their stores are still around. They circle the state going to toy shows and fairs, so yeah, and there's some mixed in with new and old. Typically, your collectible figurine or toy has to be based on how old it is and when it came out, such as the Cheshire Cat there from the 80s Alice in Wonderland reissue. I have one that I had since I was a kid, since going to Disneyland in '89, and apparently that's worth something. There's another one there, and yeah, that would be worth something. And here we have the former Space Cat guy, this former well, not Space Cat, he was a Capital Comics, and then he was the Moore Park one too. And he's got all of his stuff out, and he's selling it. If there was a and this is where Jimticon saw the Predaking. Also, I did too. I saw the Predaking. There's 2 Predakings there. There's 2 in the box. There were 3. There were some in the individual boxes. That was an original, and then there was an assembled one, but he was a reissue for 230. And then there was the one in the box in the Gestalt, also a reissue. Very cool. 300. So this guy had them all. If the Kal Kat store did a booth and sold some toys, it would probably look a lot like that, because there'd just be like stacks of them on a table, because they would be from my collection. But we had not. Here's the Predaking briefly. I think you should have bought the guy. Just like made a deal and bought it. Should have pitched in and we both bought it or something. But no, I already have one. So. He broke his Predaking in the 80s and said someone else did it. It was him. He broke it. Yeah. He wondered where his Fort Maximus went, and I said he sold it to me years ago, and I got all the accessories that were lost and replaced them. It's still much played with and not in mint condition, although it probably, as a block of core of Fortress Maximus with the head and everything, probably would be worth 200. So he could trade it. He could trade it. If you really wanted to, but we didn't do that. But yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi guys, dorks that go to conventions. Us nerds going to conventions. Geeky people. They do reproduce, and there are children at the convention. Yes, they do reproduce. Let's see. I think, but yeah, with other nerds, it's all good. We have a lot of the older stuff is older people selling it. The newer stuff is kind of matched in. There's 20th anniversary stuff, Transformers there. Looking at Prowl and some of the other ones. Bread store. Yeah. So it's an interesting show thing. You get to pan around and see what's going on. The overall effect of this is... Yeah, it was fine. And the reason that there aren't very many people is I got in early. I did an early bird thing, and so did he, and Jim was somewhere else on the other side. And it was just starting out, so it was an early bird thing. And yeah, so there's not a whole lot of us here. And there's more Transformers. So space thingies. Yeah, there's I'm trying to keep this interesting. I'm trying to say stuff that isn't necessarily on the other behind the scenes. That there was more. There were more. All right, so more Transformers toys, more all kinds of things. Star Wars, My Little Ponies, free ones going over here. Oh, here we have some statues from that Jim also saw. Statues from the new movies. I don't know why he likes them so much. I guess because they're dark. He likes them being dark. Yeah, this is not supposed to be visual. It's not. So I can screw it up. This is just audio. I'm just recording it on here so that it's there. So we have a version of it. Here we have a lot of whipping and panning and stuff. I don't think he's in it at this point. Yeah, he's not in the story really at all. It's sort of like he was the director, he was the producer, but he wasn't doing anything. But yeah, there's the alien. I thought that would look interesting. He said the Hulkbuster was there, but I didn't see it. And I found the guy that had the Hulkbuster, and when I asked him, they said they sold it. So it's possible that when he first came in, he saw it, and they sold it between then and when I walked up to him. which is possible. I was in there for an hour before I found Jimticon. It's possible they sold it, that one of the early birds bought it. kind of, but yeah, we have less comic books. This is mostly toys and collectibles. They have more shirts and things, and this is a couple of shirt stores. I didn't buy any of the shirts. Nothing really jumped out at me. I saw like the Jurassic Park parody shirts there and some other stuff. Decepticon symbol shirt, but I didn't really, it's an oddity. Yeah. I was talking about that. We were talking about the Hot Topic too. That's not on the other one. And the Hot Topic was not selling yet the Infinity War stuff. Only at the Girls Brand. And it's like, well, yeah, who knows? Yeah, the thing about collectibles. I'll go back to the collectibles. Why not? I'll talk about collectibles. Sure. Store Brand's card at the store. We had. Occasionally, we sold stuff for the Transcarta thing. We would get a lot of stuff and then sell it. And pretty much the online store was called Pirated Productions sometimes, unofficially. They were Transformers, but it wasn't pirated at all. Nothing was pirated. It was a joke. And we would do our home movie videos and things for Brown Productions and stuff like that. And we would do the videos. This is before the YouTube channels. And we were making a parody series called Trans Tech at that point, through 2002 to 2009, roughly. The first one was finished in 2003 and then updated in 2010. The second one was finished in 2009, roughly, and updated by 2010. The second two were easier to film, so the second one was 2010. It's done. All the animation and stuff was done for those, like, on the spot during production, so they were all finished. That's kind of the same with the animation on Star Trek Chimera, Starship Chimera as well, because we can do all of the B-roll stuff long before the A-roll stuff is finished. And that's what we're going to do. It should be out, but it isn't. It's just been taking forever for Mark Scarge to finish his last lines of dialogue. There are 23 minutes left, and he has but probably less than 10, 11 lines. But for some reason, yeah, he wants to do it, be on the set, do his thing. But he totally could finish it in like probably 3 nights if we just had 3 nights. But yeah, so yeah, 22 minutes is not a lot. Maybe we should have a couple read-throughs and just read through the script and just use the audio. Just have like 3 nights of read-throughs and just, okay, I'll do the rest of it. But yeah, maybe not. But yeah, the back to the Pirate Company thing. The idea that this online store that went belly up during Trans Tech, because yeah, we were supply and demand. We were not able to meet supply and demand. We ran out of things to sell that people wanted, and we're stuck with stuff that nobody wanted. So paint a lot of old Skyfires and stuff. Yeah, so it went away. Went under. It didn't go bankrupt because that would imply that there was actually a bank. There was no bank involved. Not really. It was just like an account, direct account access thing. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with this cat. Hi, kitty. Hi, Kadabra. Kadabra's on the audio. Yes, she is. She's a kitty. Yeah. Anyway, so Kadabra, she's a kitty, and yeah, so we've got some odd figurines there. The store went on. Yes, so we knew of the Time Tunnel people and Space Cat people. We were there. Tim and I were there frequently. Then I was there frequently after that, and Tim would go there and stuff, and we would go to the toy shows. Tim, John, and I would go to the toy shows and stuff. And basically, what the all of that stuff and that inventory and the toys and all that basically acted as a Kickstarter, in a sense, for all of the fan films. Transtech paid for itself by having an online toy store on eBay. And it did. It paid for all 3 movies. They were paid for even if the company disappeared. So they were paid for. They said, okay, well, we've done... Because once you've got all the toys and things together, you can just keep going. Because it's already there. All it is acting in front of a camera and putting together the things you already own. So, yeah, we have a plethora of Transformer toys, so we can totally do more of that. And we found some of the old mush stuff, or I did, and Mark's Cards approves that. That's a fan, old chat rooms, Transformers chat room love stories. I don't know if we're going to use anything in whole or in part. It's hard to say at this point whether that's going to happen. But yeah, again, no profit is being made on any fan films. So we're losing money by making fan films. We're basically saying, unlike the Axonar thing with the Star Trek thing, we're basically saying we have a Transformers story that's we have a story. We have like a Transformers or a Star Trek or a Robotech. We post it on YouTube, but we can't use copyrighted music. We can use copyrighted toys because we're not making profit. It's not monetized. And nobody's gonna go after a guy with a fan film with it like in his like attic with his toys going Optimus Prime fighter. Like nobody's gonna say anything about that. It's just not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna do anything about that. So yeah, it's like it's kind of nuts, but we've done it, and it's gonna be yeah. So yeah, yeah. So there's me talking in the thing. So there's a lot of fan stuff out there, and a lot of it, some of it's good, a lot of it isn't. But we're not pretentious enough to say that ours is really great, because it's not. It's just creative. It's not really great, but we try. And I finally transformed this Decepticon cat disc thing. Sort of an update of the cassettes from. This is actually from Transformers Adventure, which we never aired here. Another Japanese cartoon. Yeah, it's a sort of a mid-range one where Prime was once again a train. It's kind of an odd thing. They were called Fall of Cybertron here, but it's Transformers Adventure over there. I know it's a game, it's separate. Anyway, Jimticon finally showed up, and here's this footage, and yeah. So, and then at home it was hailing. It was hailing everywhere, but at home it was hailing. Set. Brown Kal Kat studio thingy, yeah. So, yeah, we have access to that again. Yay! Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's been fun going over the toy show and going over some of the trans stuff going on and that, pretty much. Out of pocket, we make our parodies. There's the big secret. Out of pocket, we don't make a profit at all because we really don't make a profit. The store made a profit, but we took the store profit and bought sets and toys to be in other movies. So it wasn't really making a profit. It was just enjoying spending money. So our own money on stuff. Yeah. So in the end, it just came out that way. And yeah, so the store will return in 2018, hopefully late 2019, as soon as we figure out what we want to sell on it again. And someday we will be having a booth at this convention. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, maybe not the Comic-Con one, but Time Tunnel we probably could get a booth if we had something to sell, and make money, and it would be for non-for-profit. For making more parody movies yeah, we would sell stuff and say, it goes to the parody movie. Another one. It could happen, yeah. So going up the stairs, all the hail. Then what else since we had? Anyways, yeah, you're watching the Kal Kat show, Super Toy Show and Fair. And, yeah. Cool. Bye.